Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Covering both sides of the big issues with the analysis you trust on Newsradio 1040 WHO.
Dr. Farah is a cardiologist, and these these are temperatures I've never even heard of, doctor, that we're trying to keep these Moderna and Pfizer vaccines useful. So how long does a doctor or a hospital typically have to keep these vaccines cold? And as they start warming up, how long do you have while the vaccine is still good?
It's 6 hours. So you have to be able to use the vaccine within those 6 hours after you thaw the vaccine out of the freezer. Once 6 hours have passed, it goes to waste.
Okay, so 6 hours, not a whole lot of time. So what is that temperature? Could you remind us of the temperature, because it is incredibly cold?
Yes, for Pfizer, it's negative 75 degrees, which is quite cold, yes, which is incredibly cold. It has its challenges in itself. But, the storage part is not as big of an issue as it is what we're facing with is a lot of dosages. There's a concern that they may be going to waste, because once that 6 hour window passes, and if there's any left over, what do you do with it,
Right, and I guess that how do you even keep something that cold? Because we have freezers at home, and obviously that is just below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. You're talking about something over 100 degrees colder than that. How have they been able to keep these vaccines cold enough while they transport it to the various places around the country and the world that are trying to get these vaccines?
Well, the distribution centers and the companies like Pfizer and Moderna, they are the ones who are handling that part, so they have, of course, figured out a way to keep it cold in their special packaging system within their freezers, and then they're transporting it to specific locations. Initially, it was hospitals, and now certain vendors like some CVS's and some grocery stores are also doing it. But it's not the grocery stores, it's the people who've been allocated to distribute them. And so they are keeping it cold in the specialized freezers that they're transporting and storing the vaccines in. That part is not something that's being handled by any specific vendors, so to speak.
We're speaking with cardiologist Dr. Fahmi Farah here on the hotline on Need to Know this morning. So when you have food that goes bad, you're not able to, get it cold again or, put it in a freezing situation to where you can restore it to the way it was. Is that the same case with the vaccine? If it gets too warm in the 6 hour period, is it an impossibility to try to get it back down to a working temperature?
That is correct. So once you thaw it, you've essentially opened it up, and you can't put it back and refreeze it. And that's what we're being told by the companies themselves, by CDC, that once the vaccine vial has been opened and, of course, thawed to room temperature, it's not you cannot refreeze it. You have to use the whole vial.
Okay, so that makes it even more difficult to try to make sure that you get this used at the right time. So I read about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine that is apparently on deck as well to get pushed out. Not quite as effective, but it's only one dose, and it does not have to be frozen at these kind of temperatures. Do you see stuff like this happening as more and more vaccines are trying to be administered? Do you think that more of these companies are trying to find solutions so this is not part of the problem or a variable?
I believe so. As advancements are made, more companies have opportunities to come up with, ways of solving this temperature problem. It'll get better. Johnson & Johnson is one of them. Also, not just the temperature, the fact that it's one dose, that will make it easier as well for distributing, for administering, inoculating people, and for people as well. So I think one dose will make things just so much easier.
Fingers crossed that it just gets easier and easier from here, regardless of what vaccine is coming out, and hopefully we can get back to normal. Dr. Fahmi Farah joining us. Thank you so much, Doctor. You have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You as well. Bye-bye.